hold on.
Okay.
It would be great if Tyreek Hill would do something for me. Okay. Not until he's on the Chiefs.
Right. Oh. Rewards enabled on the channel. Okay. Didn't realize we were giving away rewards, but all right.
They're enabled. It doesn't mean we're actually doing anything with it, but hey.
Right. Don't get your hopes up. I mean, I'm pretty sure I've got some Halloween candy around here somewhere. We could do that, but
some Halloween candy that'll make you sick. But hey.
Right.
All right, let me pull up. There we are. I think I'll hear us.
Right. Don't get your hopes up. I mean, I'm pretty sure I've got some Halloween candy around here somewhere. We could do that, but
oh, they won't hear me because
candy that'll make you sick. But
hey. All right, no, they will.
Yeah. Well, there we are.
All right, let me mute my phone. All right. Speaking of my native language.
Thought that was Robin's native language.
With an accent, though.
True.
Yeah.
Well, I warned Boomer that, last night that he ought to show up today. I guess last week his family was around, so that's why he wasn't here. So I said, well, be prepared. Sort of. Okay. I said, well, be forewarned. I said, if you listen to last week's show, I said, you did get your butt chewed a little bit. So, I mean, we had to give you some grief.
Properly done.
Right.
It was the proper amount of griefing and still respectful.
Right.
As much as we could be.
Exactly.
All right. We can start now. Let's do
Alrighty.
this.
Let's do this thing.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all are listening to the Overseas Connection podcast.
Shut up and sit down.
Here we go!
Would you kindly? I think we're just getting started. Medic! I'm a witcher.
I think this is more than you can handle.
He sits on his ass all day.
Let's do this.
Well, hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to episode 807 of the Overseas Connection podcast, or as we affectionately call it these days, the U.S. Connection podcast, because our Brits are currently off doing things. However, word has it, this time I mean it, we're getting some Brits back. It's like a refund. We're getting it refunded back to us. The government didn't want them anymore. They're giving them back. So we'll have some Brits, I think, next week. Don't hold me to this, though, because it's more than once that I've been lied to by the British Empire. Okay. That out of the way. We are a video game podcast. If you haven't listened to us before, we talk about video games. We talk about life. We are a little bit more mature, a little bit wiser. So if you're a youngin', guess what? We don't care. We buy our own beer. We don't have to shoulder tap anybody for that. We have, our pick and choose. We have disposable income. So, before you come at us and say, oh, old people are bad, you know what? We're the fun ones. You guys are screwed. So, all right. We do this every Sunday, 12 p.m. on the West Coast, 2 p.m. in Missouri, Canada, 3 p.m. on the East Coast, and 8 p.m. in the UK, because we do still like our UK brethren, even though they have shunned us for quite some time now. I am Greg DeLacy, gamertag Murphy's Law, OC_Murphy's Law on Twitter. Yes, it is still Twitter. I don't care what Elon says. And I love Elon, so there's that. Also on the show, from parts of Canada unknown, Kim Woods. Kim, welcome to the show.
Yeah, that's me. Happy to be here. As you said, I'm from Missouri, Canada, Missouri, however that works. And yeah, I'm at Gamer Girl 27 pretty much everywhere. So there you are.
All right.
Yeah.
And I do see Batch Gaming in the chat. We'll give him a shout out.
Indeed.
Batch, if in fact the lies are true and we don't have Brits available, we will reach out if need be. All right. I think we covered all the main stuff, except for you can join us live, like Batch is right now. We expect Boomer to be in shortly because we did scold him. So yeah, he'll show up.
Yeah.
But we are on Twitch. We are on YouTube. We also put forward an audio version of this. So fear not if you have to leave early, you want to catch the rest of the show, whatever, or come late, catch the early part of the show. Either way, there will be a cassette tape version of this made. It will not be distributed. However, we will take the audio from the cassette tape version and we will post that up to podcast feeds. So just know you're getting old school tech to culminate and put forward a podcast. All right. We do have one birthday shout out. Kim,
we do.
To be perfectly honest, this should be you doing the shout out.
All right, I could do that. Yeah, it's for my brother, Jim, who actually his nickname is Tough, and that's pretty much what everyone knows him by is Tough. Anyway, his birthday is tomorrow, and I believe he'll be 45. So, happy birthday, Tough. I hope it's a good one. So
it's funny. I saw that in the notes, and I thought Tub first. I thought that's what that was, Tub.
No, it's Tough. Because there's a story here, I guess. When he was little, maybe. Yeah, right. Well, he was, I don't know, 4 or 5, and he got his fingers shut in a car door. And yeah. And the thing was, my aunt was there at the time when it happened, and she's like, you know what? He never cried. And she called him a tough little man. Well, then somehow or another, Tough, I guess, just stuck. So he's been tough ever since. As a matter of fact, if anybody ever calls him Jim, I'm looking around and I'm looking at my dad because that's his name. So, you know. Okay. So happy birthday, Tough. You are a tough little man. So.
Happy birthday! All right. Well, that means. By the way, fingers shut in a car door. That's like, did things break?
No.
Was it just kind of nipped him in the car door? Didn't.
Yeah. Didn't break anything or anything. I'm not real sure because, like I said, if he was 5 or 6, I was only about like 7. So who knows?
Say,
but
door shuts. That's problematic. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah. But no, he got him pinched in there and didn't cry apparently. Okay. If it had been me, I would have been like bawling up a storm, wanting to go to the hospital to make sure my fingers weren't broken. But
you would think I was dying if that happened to me.
Right?
Yes.
Right. So.
Kim, have you ever had any broken bones or anything? Now that's just going to lead us into this topic real fast.
Believe it or not, I haven't. For as clumsy as I have been my whole entire life, I have never broken anything. So. Right.
I am envious. I have broken fingers. I have broken my wrist. I have broken my ankle twice. Oddly, same ankle, by the way. That's an amazing thing. And torn Achilles tendon. So.
Ouch.
Yeah, I have not been kind to my body over the years.
Apparently not. No, I haven't. I mean, I've come close, and there's probably times I should have broken something, but so far I've been lucky. So.
All right.
Yeah.
In the chat, if you have broken a bone or had other major things happen to your body outside of gender-changing surgeries, we don't really want to hear about that. Feel free to put that in the chat. I'm curious, Some people go their whole life not having nothing major happen to them. Other people, like me, apparently have things happen to them every other week. All right.
Apparently.
In the meantime, let's get to story time.
Alrighty.
Everyone here loves story time, our favorite time of the day.
Oh look, Boomer just showed up.
What was that?
Boomer just showed up.
Oh,
apparently our ass showing must have did some good.
There's so many. I'm just not gonna say anything. Welcome
All
to
right.
the chat, Boomer. Like the disease you didn't want. Just kidding, Boomer. We love you. All right. What are we doing, Kim? What are we talking about? You've had a rough week.
I did, and I didn't show up for Halo again because it happened on Halo Day. Shit's got to stop happening on Halo. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, that's why I didn't show up
Slightly
for
talked
Halo.
about you in disparaging ways.
Well, I had a valid reason.
You do have a
This
valid
time.
reason. Of course, we didn't know at the time. Hence the
Right.
slightly disparaging. We still like you though, so
It's okay.
it was positive disparaging commentary.
Oh, all right.
If there
Well,
could
as
be
long
such
as
a thing.
yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah,
no.
So you lost one of the herd.
Yeah, I lost one of my cats. He got hit by a car, and unfortunately, it wasn't a quick
Ooh.
death. Sadly.
Okay.
But yeah,
Rough.
Barney. We lost Barney. He was It's funny because when we found him, and he was in the barn, and that's how he got his name, was Barney the barn cat. So anyway, yeah, we lost Barney. He got hit by a car, and it was not great. So even like I said, it was on Wednesday, so of course that didn't really put me in much of a mood to play Halo. Although maybe I should have.
Yeah.
But I mean, other than that, because I'm not dwelling on that because it makes me sad. The weekend hasn't been bad. My nephew Colton had his 6th birthday yesterday at one of those little I don't know if you guys have, you probably have them around where you live, but they always have like those pumpkin patch deals where they always have pumpkins and games for kids to play and yada yada yada. Well, we did one of those yesterday, and well, hats off to that woman because the number of kids and people that were running, and it seemed like it was done at somebody's house. So the amount of people that were running around this poor lady's yard and children and all that, hats off to you. There's no way in hell I would have done it. So I don't like,
Did she
I don't like people that much.
Like
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I think it's
Well,
like $4 or
I don't
something a
feel sorry
person.
for her. Yeah, I think,
Right.
She's covering her bases
You
with
know.
the fees. So,
Yeah. But we did that. Like I said, Colton is now 6, and I can't wrap my head around that because I remember when he was a tiny little nothing, and now he's 6 years old. He's in school, and little fart. But no, good time was had by all. There was cake. I was happy. So
once cake enters the thing, unless the cake is bad, and there is such thing as bad cake.
Yes. There
But
is
as long
bad
as the
cake, but this
good,
is not
it
good.
almost assuredly will be a good time.
Yeah,
Because
right.
even
And
if
there
it's
was
been
ice
tough
cream.
Up until then, once you get to the good cake,
Right.
yeah.
So there was that, and there was a cat. There was a cat that was roaming around. I'm assuming it was the lady's cat that lived there, but I of course, cat is me.
Not all things make things better.
Well, that did.
Just saying.
But anyway, so no, everybody had a good time, and there was a pretty good turnout. Other than when we got ready to leave, we rode up with my sister, and she tried to run me over, so that wasn't good. But we went to get we went to get in the car, and apparently she must have thought that I'd already gotten in the car, but I was standing there with the door open waiting for, I don't remember if I was waiting for the kids to sit down or whatever the deal was. Anyway, she just started to drive off like at full fucking bore. So here I am hanging on the door going, what the fuck is going on? Are you trying to kill me? Finally, between Dad and her boyfriend and the 2 kids, they're all like, you want to stop or you're going to kill Aunt Kim, So finally, she stopped after dragging me about a half mile. No, not quite that, but it felt like that for a while.
But you did. You got drugged. That's
a little bit, yeah. I mean, I managed to stay up on my feet. I don't know how, but I did manage. So I think she's just trying to kill me off for my vast millions that I obviously have.
Yeah, you might want to revise the will and let her know about that. That's the important thing, by the way, people. If you're going to revise a will and take somebody out of the will, make sure they know you took them out of the will, because otherwise they still think there's incentive for them to knock you off. Just saying. Right.
Common exactly. Sense. So that was right. So that was a little bit of excitement going on. If it hadn't been for my cat-like reflexes, I don't know, I probably wouldn't have been here today. But
cat-like reflexes.
Yeah, that's right. My cat-like reflexes. I got to inherit something from them. I mean, I've got enough of them. So other than that little problem, it was a good time. So
So
how about you?
The myth, by the way, about cats. I don't know, most people probably know the myth, but I mean, it is a myth, by the way.
Right.
But the myth is that cats always land on their feet. Now they're very agile, and they will definitely 9 times out of 10 land on their feet. But there are occasions where they don't quite make that happen.
Right.
But yeah, it is pretty incredible. Those fuckers are nimble.
Yes, they are. And they know it too.
Okay, all right. So Colton's birthday, fantastic.
Yeah.
You remember how I had like the front yard more or less done for Halloween? We're in the final prep.
Right.
There was crazy wind over the past few days. Let's just
that
say
couldn't have
wind
been good.
Halloween decorations do not mix. So
next
week, maybe even tonight. I don't know. We'll be doing some repair work, some fixing, get things back in order. Although one of the things we had for Halloween is not quite ready yet, so that will get done tonight. And then once that's done, I will share pictures. I promise.
Good, because it's always cool to see what you guys do every year.
Oh,
So
we have fun. We do have fun.
you
Of
know.
course, my costume. I finalized what I'll be wearing. So,
That's
our
always
theme
important.
is Carnival.
Ah, nice.
And I'm going to be going with an evil jester costume. So, my goal: scare the shit out of as many kids and parents as I can. It's always the goal.
That's worthy goal. I
I think so.
If one kid doesn't leave, trailing a trail of urine, you haven't done your job. So
No, clearly not. I do actually get a kick out of the kids. It's just like so there was one time, it's maybe 6, 7 years old, so it's on the younger side. But he's like walking up, and this is at our old house, obviously. And I was behind a pillar, and I just like emerge from behind the pillar, and the kid just stops dead in his tracks, and he's looking at me, and he looks back over his shoulder at his parents, and he looks back at me, and he's like, and just shakes his head no, and turns around and walks back.
That's pretty good. I like that.
Those are the things I will be hopefully experiencing in our new house. Okay, let me hear this Bigfoot Knows Karate. What's this? Talk to me.
Yes, it's actually a comic series that I stumbled across on Twitter, because the guy is actually going to start a Kickstarter, I think, for long to do a third one. And yeah, it's basically what it is Bigfoot Knows Karate. I don't know if you've ever watched Samurai Jack, which is a cartoon on Cartoon Network way back in the day, but it's much like that. For Bigfoot, he's very zen. So I don't know. It's kind of a neat little thing. I'm not through the first one yet, but I've started it, and it's very neat. The comics were cheap; they were like $5 a pop. So
one, I don't know the comic, but I am struggling with this notion of Bigfoot being very zen.
I know, right? Well, okay, like for instance, in the one I'm reading, I just started it, but anyway, there was some rabbit hunters out, and he had a rabbit buddy that's by him or something, and well, instead of hitting the rabbit, because apparently the guy's a piss poor shot, he ends up hitting Bigfoot. So he figures out that that's what they're after is the rabbit, because he had just got done killing a wolf that was going after the rabbit. So now he's going after the rabbit hunters. So he ends up taking them out. He doesn't kill them, obviously, because that's not the way. But he breaks their jaw or something like that. So then this bunny now follows him, wherever he goes. So yeah, I don't know. It's like that's kind of neat. If you've ever watched the Samurai Jack cartoons.
I do have questions.
Okay.
So when he's shooting at the rabbit and he accidentally hits Bigfoot.
Right.
Does he realize Bigfoot's there? Does he see that was Bigfoot that he
No,
shot?
obviously no, he doesn't. He has no idea that he shot Bigfoot. And then of course Bigfoot knowing karate,
If I shot Bigfoot,
right,
and I realized that was Bigfoot,
Mhm.
the rabbit, which
Right.
I also again have a hard time, like, how would you not understand?
Right.
At that point, I'm unloading my entire gun clip into Bigfoot.
Right, because
for multiple reasons. One, scared shitless, don't want Bigfoot to kill me. Two,
Right.
if I kill Bigfoot, talk about fame, infamy, reward. You're going to be set for life probably with killing Bigfoot.
More than likely.
Show that he's real. You've killed him. His head's now on your fire mantle. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, no, so far it's been pretty good. Like I said, I bought the first 3. I think the first one he's going after Cthulhu. I'm not sure about the other one. I think the other one he might be going after Godzilla or something. Anyway, Godzilla was mentioned, so we'll see.
Okay. Again, now
I know.
Really? I mean, this is like Godzilla versus Bambi. For all intents and purposes, it's the same thing.
Right.
Bigfoot is going to be stomped.
Right. But he also knows karate, so maybe not. I don't
do nothing for him. Just saying.
But anyway, it's a new comic I stumbled across, and they're, like I said, they're $5 a pop, so I bought all 3 of them. So we'll see how they go. I don't know. I just thought, they're quirky because you don't expect Bigfoot to know karate. So
By the way, Mr. Matthew in the house. Yes, Mr. Matthew, you did figure it out. It actually is a Harley Quinn outfit. I'm going as Harley Quinn.
Hey, there you go. Woohoo.
I would actually venture. I could be tempted by that,
Oh.
but
Sure.
that's not really the plan.
All right.
Kim, you remember like old time, I don't say radio shows, but like TV programs?
Yeah.
Gunsmoke, Matlock,
Yes.
the actual
Yes.
original Matlock, not the new
The shit that I watch on a daily basis because
Yes.
that's my dad. Yes.
So I discovered on Sirius XM radio, there is a channel 148 that is Radio Classics, and they play all of these old TV programs.
Wow.
So I am kind of excited for this, to be able to listen to just old school TV shows. Granted, it's on radio, so you'll miss some of it, but I mean, there wasn't a lot of visuals to the old, Perry Mason TV shows. I mean, so that'd be perfect for this. So excited to check that out.
Neat.
Okay, what I gotta ask color.
Yes.
I have to ask.
I don't know if you saw it or not, but Kindle is now releasing a Kindle Color. So for me, and this kind of goes along with the Bigfoot knows karate. So it'll be perfect for me to read my comics on, because right now the Paperwhite that I have is black and white. And I've read my comics on it, but they are in black and white. And part of the appeal of comics, I think, is of course the color, right?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of excited that Kindle, because I've looked at some other color e-ink tablets, which are a little on the expensive side. But as much as I'm tied into the Kindle ecosystem, as it were, I think I'd be smarter off buying this thing. And it is waterproof, which is nice because, well, I'm a klutz. Oh, and apparently I'm super loud and you're hard to hear. So
yes, I was just making some minor adjustments, so hopefully that should be
Gotcha.
better now.
Well, now I'm yelling at people, so sorry about that.
It happens.
Right? More often than not. So anyway,
Get off my
end of the month.
lawn!
I do that. I yell that at raccoons.
Stop
but anyway.
eating my cats.
That's right. Would you just stop bragging out the kittens? I don't like it,
Sorry.
Anyway, so yes, at the end of the month, Kindle is releasing a color Kindle, and I'm mildly excited about it. As you can tell, I put it in the show notes.
Mildly excited.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Hopefully we fix the audio issue.
Yeah, if I'm still yelling at you, let me know.
Yeah, I can.
Oh,
I
much
can
better.
adjust. Okay, perfect.
So, woohoo!
Apparently, I wanted to give Kim more importance than myself, which is the right thing to do. But
I don't want to yell at people, though.
Yeah.
Make me feel bad and I'll cry. We don't need any more of that. So,
all right. So
anything
Kindle
else
Color.
for you?
Yeah. Last thing, went wine
Okay.
tasting yesterday. One of the wineries we go to, they once a year they have a Zinfandel they release called Rocket Fuel.
Mhm.
And so the reason why they call it Rocket Fuel is it's actually 18% alcohol.
Oh.
So it's definitely a very potent Zin. And
Yeah, no
so,
kidding.
So came home with a few bottles of that. But yeah, so it was just nice to get out. The day was beautiful. It was a gorgeous day. We met some friends up there and had some wine, ate some good food, and came home. And I think we were in bed by like 9:30. We were done. And then my day
Like the
started
true
pretty
old
early
people that we
yesterday.
are.
Oh god, yeah, it was absolutely. I was like old man syndrome. I was like looking at the clock. It's like 9 o'clock. I'm like, I think I can make it to 9:30, and then I'm just done.
That's right, right?
Yeah. All right. Let's shift gears to
Alrighty.
what we've been playing.
Today I feel like playing computer games. Today I feel like playing computer games.
All right, Kim.
Mhm.
You have been playing a little game called Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2.
I have, because I had an update for it. I don't know exactly what was all in the update. They did some technical things. I think there's some cosmetics maybe. But anyway, they released an update for it here the other day, and I fired it up yesterday and played for a little bit. I'm still loving it. So,
Yes, and this is on my radar, Kim. I made
hope
a
so.
promise to you for Extra Life. This will be on the playlist.
Also, you boomer. Just saying.
Oh yeah, Boomer. I'm showing, by the way, the trailer. This is for the overview of this update that just happened. So,
Right.
it looks like some new weapons.
Yeah.
It
And
always
then, yeah,
looks
you've
great.
got this big, like, mutant thing that apparently there's a deal for that. You go up and try, what is it, 3 people, and you go up and try to kill it. So that could be fun, I think. Anyway.
I think it could
I
be
don't know.
fun.
maybe I just miss Horde from Gears of War, so this is the closest thing I'll get for a while. So, yeah.
All right.
Maybe we'll find out during Extra Life, hopefully.
Yes,
so.
we will. Yes, we will. All right. Let me just double check here. What I think you also played some boring game, Call of Duty.
Yeah, well, I got on yesterday because, of course, I had a shit week. Well, the last couple of weeks had very great on my cat population. But anyway, I decided, well, it was time to fire up some Horde Point. I hadn't talked to Boomer for a while, and that seemed like the perfect opportunity. So I got on there to fire up some Horde Point, and Call of Duty, Sledgehammer Games, whoever the hell it is, you've disappointed me again because you've taken Horde Point away. So we settled for some 24/7 shipment maps and played that. So it works out, I guess.
They would just leave it in the playlist. Why not?
They freaking need to, because I'm telling you what, if they would leave that on there, that pretty much would be the only thing I would play would be Horde Point. So, no, well, what do you know? Somebody had made a comment though on Twitter or something that they pulled it because it's going to be Halloween and Black Ops 6 is going to be out soon, and they think maybe they're moving all that over to Black Ops 6.
Could be zombies.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Right.
makes sense, right?
Right. So we'll see. But yeah, we played some Shipment 24/7 last night, and I didn't do too bad. My kill death ratio is actually improving quite a bit because there were several maps that I had more kills than deaths. So for me, that's saying something. So.
Well, if you had played Halo with us, we had an amazing match of Halo, several matches, I should say, on Wednesday. Myself, Martin, and Lewis were all in there. We kicked some ass. We all had great kill death ratios. Won the preponderance was very of the jealous. Games.
I say that.
By the way, preponderance is a big word for me. But we won most of them.
That's a $20 word.
Not quite all of them. We did lose 2, but they were close. They were close each time, and that was the key. And the other big key was, it was because Robert wasn't there. Again, the good streak happens when Robert's missing in action, and then when he comes and his aimbot's there, it makes it tougher on us because it brings in higher level players. So, but the other game I've been playing, Kim,
right?
Jagged Alliance 3.
Oh.
So if you are familiar with XCOM,
mm-hmm.
XCOM 2. This is going to be right up your alley. Especially if you like those games, I should say.
Right.
So turn-based combat, tactical combat game. You get your squad. You go into an island. There is a story to it. I won't spoil the story, but I mean, it's a pretty typical fare. It's not like it's a real deep story. But what I do like that they have introduced in the game, as you're kind of seeing, this is the opening tutorial kind of area. They have introduced like RPG elements to it of like dialogue. So you are basically having commentary. I'm going to skip ahead through them, trying to figure out their settings. So, you'll meet people in the village, that kind of thing, that you talk to them, and they'll give you dialogue choices. And then based on some of your skill levels, it will give you potential other dialogue choices to give or take some away if you don't have a high enough skill level for it. And again, it's a permadeath game, so once you lose characters, they are gone for good. Although there is a setting you can do where it doesn't kill them off right away, so they can be downed, and as long as you get to them within a certain amount of time, they'll be resurrected. And much like other games, when you kill your one of your partners gets killed, you'll be able to loot their body and kind of get all of the goods off of them. Which is important because some games don't let you do that. It always kind of irks me because they have good weapons on them. You want to be able to take that back. The interesting thing is not all enemies you kill will have loot. And so some will, some won't. And there is just, kind of that element of search. Although one thing that I'm leery of is how much replayability this is going to have, because it does seem so far like everything isn't procedurally generated. It seems like it's set. So there's set pieces I'm going into. And so like when I've replayed, I started up a new game, I actually stopped and then went back and fired up the new game again because I wanted to kind of do things slightly different in terms of how I started. It all was basically kind of the same enemy numbers, that kind of thing. But it might just be this tutorial kind of opening area, and that's fine. And that's my hope. one other thing that is kind of cool in the opening session, they don't do a good job, by the way, of kind of giving you the tutorial. A lot of this is going to be just, you figuring it out on your own.
Mhm.
But there's an opening, I'll call it like your hub menu. They're showing a little bit of right now. You're seeing the satellite view on screen right now. But there's a hub menu, and then there's like a newsletter section. Within the newsletter section, there's this survey you can take. And it's about 10 different questions within this little survey. And as you're answering the survey, it's basing your decisions and then creating a character from that for you. So it'll be your character that you can put into the game. So it's kind of a cool little, iteration, and it's just a nice way of doing a character creation as opposed to other games where they do their character creation. It's always real straightforward. You select your body type, you select your your character looks, and then you just distribute your skill points as is. Whereas here, based on your questions, it kind of creates that character for you. So I thought that was kind of fun. And it's basically 10 questions that are all based on a scenario. So it's like you're driving home, you see a car accident, what do you do? And then, you answer that question. It's like, okay, now that you've gotten out of the car to check on the victim, you see somebody else off in the distance running away. What do you do? Those kinds of questions. And that's not at all the questions you get, mind you, but just to give you an example. Anyway, so I'm liking it. The visuals are great. Again, you have to like tactical turn-based games. If you do, this will be, it'll be your jam.
Gotcha.
All right. So let us go back to here. And we talked about it. I think we talked about pretty much the games we've been playing.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot for me this week.
Yeah, but you know what that does mean, Kim?
What's that mean?
It means, Rain God Zippo in the chat, by the way. Howdy.
He is.
Mr. Matthews in the chat. Batch is in the chat.
Yep.
Boomer's in the chat. That means everybody, y'all strap in and get ready for this.
All right, now everybody get set.
Boy.
Get away from the windows. Now look, good. It's time for the quiz. Yeah, you know what? Oh, too bad. Tough.
Exactly. It's too bad, tough. It's time for the quiz. So if you're not familiar with this is the Metacritic Madness quiz. I'm going to take you back, Kim, and our audience. Everybody, we're all going hand in hand. It's kumbaya. We're going back to the year 2017. It's not that far long ago, but it's long enough that we probably have forgotten most of what we were doing in 2017. However, during 2017, 3 games came out. You have to, Kim, guess the Metacritic scores, and our audience will play along, hopefully. This is the highlight, by the way, of the weekend. No matter what you've been doing, this is the highlight of the weekend.
This is it.
This week, Kim, a little different spin as well. All PS4 games. Only PS4 games.
Well.
Yes. All right, we're going to start off with a game that is possibly one of the banes of my existence, the worst experience I've ever had in my life, thanks to Lewis.
Oh, goody.
Persona 5 launched out on the PS5, Kim. Persona 5. Don't get me started on my experience with Persona 5. It was not pleasant.
Okay.
But because I promised Lewis, I played that thing for an hour.
I remember
and I counted
that,
the minutes. I did count
I remember
the minutes.
this.
Yes. But Persona 5 on the PS4, Kim, what Metacritic score did Persona 5 get?
Boy, I know those are pretty popular. So, I mean, if the amount of commercials they play for those are any indication, because they've got one going off now that it seems like every time I turn around, there's a commercial for it. About 92.
92. Wow, you think very highly of Persona 5. Clearly higher
Not
than
really,
I ever thought
but
of Persona 5.
no, I'm just judging by the amount of other people that play it. So, I myself have not played any of those. So,
I highly encourage you to never touch this, but you know what?
Gotcha.
If you would like to, it's an experience. I will say that, look, people love these games. I personally don't know why. I do see a number of guesses coming in. Rain God Zippo and CP Matthew very close, 89 and 88 respectively. You had come in with a 92, which feels oddly high.
It does a little bit, but what the hell?
But you know what, Kim?
Mm-hmm.
It was 93.
Holy crap! Look at that.
Exactly. Holy crap! Such a shitty game got such a high score. I cannot believe it. Yeah. I don't know how it gets a 93. That's ridiculous in my book. But again, it's not my jam. I know.
Right. Yeah.
Please, Lewis, never, 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 ever, ever make me do that again. Okay, Kim. Now, gonna go something to your feels here. This is your kind of your jam.
Okay.
Call of Duty World War II came out.
Right.
On PS4. What score did Call of Duty World War II get on the PS4?
89.
Kim coming in with an 89.
Yeah.
That feels that just feels. It feels, Kim.
Okay.
It feels. 89.
That's what it feels. All right.
I'm looking to the chat now. I know they're anxiously, hands off your keyboards, people.
Right.
Except for your scores. No cheating allowed. 89 is the guess currently on the table from Kim. What do you all think Call of Duty World War II came at for the PS4? This was one of the Call of Duties, by the way, that I did buy. Mr. Matthew with a 91 for Call of Duty World War II on the PS4.
If I remember right, I know World War II was pretty good.
People should be listening to Rain God Zippo. Much closer, but not quite. It was a 79.
Ouch.
79, yeah. It was one of the lower rated Call of Duties.
I didn't think it was that bad, but all right.
Yeah, well. Okay.
Oh, well.
And now, you remember the game Destiny?
Yes, I do. That was a grind.
How dare you try and take a drink while on the podcast, Kim?
I know, right?
Hang on just one second.
Yeah.
Okay, much better. Okay, so Destiny came out before this year.
Right.
But Destiny 2 came out in 2017. Kim, Destiny 2 on the PS4. What did it get?
Gosh, I don't know. 87.
87 is the guess from Kim. Mr. Matthew, indeed. Ouch. Rain Gun Zippo, yes. Also, that wasn't one of the lower scoring Call of Duties. It was tough.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to like that. I bought that game.
Right.
Made Mark buy it. Wasn't happy with me.
Uh-oh.
And yeah.
And maybe that's why I went to PC.
Probably. I scared him away.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got Destiny 2 for the PS4. Kim, you have said 87. We've got a 95 from CP Matthew coming in strong. And I'm sure Rain God Zippo, there we go, 91. Everybody flexing their muscle. Kim,
apparently
they think well above your guess.
Yeah.
And the amazing
thing is,
they might
be right.
All of you are over.
Oh, wow.
It was an 85 on the PS4.
Huh.
Still a great game, a great score.
Right.
But no doubt, I'm sure Sony expected much better of this.
Right.
Of course, this is pre-Sony, so, there's that too.
This is true.
I
would like Destiny a lot more.
Yeah, I want to say it launched and was the next year that Sony bought them, or the year.
I think so. Yeah.
It was like a year after. Anyway.
Right.
All right. So Kim, even though you failed on Call of Duty,
right,
you're pretty good on all the rest. So we'll give you the win this week.
Thank you.
Oh.
I would like Destiny a lot more if it wasn't as grindy as it was. I hated going after and finding all that stuff because they wanted like 5 million of one thing and 5 million of another thing, and it's like, oh.
It was a bit grindy.
Yes, and I don't even like grinding on like RPGs like Dragon Age, because I even got burnt out on Inquisition when you had to go out and collect so many elf fruit and this, that, and the other, and I'm like, oh, for God's sake, I was just out there collecting elf fruit. Why do I need to do it again? So, anyway. I hate grinding.
What kind of fruit?
Elf fruit.
Elf fruit or elf fruit?
Elf root.
Elf root.
Root. Elf.
Not
elf
even
root,
a fruit.
Yeah. No, not even a fruit.
Okay.
Nope, it was a root, which actually looked more like grass, but whatever.
I appreciate
Whatever,
you
but
allowing me to stall there. I was literally like, I closed out my notes window, so I was like, shit. All right.
Thank you.
Well done on the quiz. Also, Elf Root for the win.
Elfert, yeah.
That means we're going to transition, Kim. We're going to transition
Okay.
to news.
Alrighty.
Here is the fucking news.
All right. In the news, I'm going to kind of go backwards
Okay.
instead of from the top down, so you can play
Oh,
along, Kim,
all right.
so you understand.
Gotcha.
Also, allergies going nuts this past week. I don't know what it is, what's in the air. We had a lot of wind, so it probably stirred up a lot of the pollen, but
Probably.
sneezing nonstop yesterday. My eye's starting to itch today, so likely halfway through this podcast, I'm going to look like I was punched in the left eye. Things to look forward to.
Right.
All right, Kim.
Yes.
The God of War series, the God of War TV series also is reported being rebooted. Basically, Sony and Amazon have reportedly rebooted their plans for the God of War TV series with scripts scrapped. This is like a really difficult news story to read. An entire new writer's room due to be hired. According to Deadline, the showrunner Rafi Judkins from The Wheel of Time and EPs Hawk Ostby and Mark Fergus, Children of Men, Iron Man, and The Expanse, have left the live-action project after completing multiple scripts for the first season.
Ouch.
Quote, the studios are apparently looking to move in a different creative direction, though one source told Deadline that the trio of scripts were praised by both Sony and Prime, so not quite sure what's going on there. But maybe they save those scripts, maybe they keep those scripts around, but they just get some others. I don't know. We'll see. But we still don't know when this is going to come out. So
right.
I think it's a
If
ways
it
off.
will ever come out.
Yeah, I think it's a ways off.
Sounds like it. If they've scrapped it and they're going to start all over. Holy moly.
Yeah. That's never a good sign.
No.
Although I wish they'd
No.
done that for Halo. I mean, I liked the
well.
Halo series, but let's be honest. The story was a bit weird compared to the canon that we know.
Right.
All right. Along with its announcement for PC, Spider-Man 2 will receive no additional story content. So those hoping for extra DLC to come to Spider-Man 2, I'm sorry to say that will not happen. This came from a PlayStation blog post, which confirmed the game will come to PC on January 30th and be available on Steam and Epic Games, Epic Games Store. The developer put to bed the suggestions that the game would receive extra story content. He basically said, you're shit out of luck. No, actually, what he did say is, while we have no additional story content planned, we're delighted to bring our previously released post-launch content to the PC version, including new game plus, new suits, and color variants, what everybody wants, and photo mode features. Oh, and more. So, okay, so maybe there could be more content down the road because nothing's planned at the moment.
Right.
But plans change. We know this. We've been around long enough. Black Myth Wukong. That's the Souls-like Chinese developer game that came out.
The Monkey Man game.
5. Yep, Monkey Man game. Yep, that is going to have a physical version reportedly very soon. This is announced on Twitter. Yes, Twitter. Sorry, Elon. Black Myth Wukong DLC reportedly planned for early release in 2025 and promises a physical version. So all those people that love their disc that they don't have now on their PS5 digital, all digital edition. Anyway, the game has also now been rated on the ESRB for Xbox. So we know Sony signed a exclusivity deal for the PlayStation 5. So we don't know when it will come to the Xbox, but looks like it might be coming somewhat soon. Also, a physical version. I know there are people out there that love their discs. Ironically, Jagged Alliance 3 that I'm playing on is on disc. I saw a deal on Amazon. That's what encouraged me to buy it and get it. Yeah. Hopefully they'll do some kind of collector's version with this. So they'll have the physical version and maybe like a statue, extravaganza version. What's going on in the chat?
Oh, I'm just laughing at CP Matthew and the Master Cheeks comment. He says Even Master Cheeks couldn't save Halo.
They were some good-looking cheeks, though.
Yeah, well,
Yeah. All right. Last but not least, in a surprise move, I didn't see this coming. I don't know why. I wasn't really paying attention, but there was an Xbox partner preview showcase.
There was.
Took place just this past week. And so let me do a little finagling here.
Alrighty.
Moving my notes away from what I want to show, because I'm going to put up the preview on screen so we can just watch that.
Mm-hmm.
I promise. It's happening. It's happening right now.
I believe in you.
So in this preview, a lot actually got announced. So
It did.
Alan Wake 2 Lake House DLC, that's what's actually going to be up on screen here. And once we get through all of the stupid rating stuff,
Right.
It'll be out next week. And it launches across PC, Xbox Series X, and PS5 on October 22nd. Kim, did you ever play any of the Alan Wake games?
I have not. I'm a chicken. I haven't. I suppose I should, but they just don't. I don't know. They don't.
They're not scary. They're very creepy, but not scary.
All right.
Although, and truth be told, as we're watching this clip, this actually kind of ventures more into the horror genre in its vibe. So,
gotcha.
Definitely creepy, possibly scary nonsense going on here.
All right. But no, I have not. I don't know.
And then in a little bit lighter version, I'm just going to speed along the. They did announce Chronos. So there's some other stuff here.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just fast forward. This was another game that caught my attention. This is called Chronos. And why is it not in my notes? Anyway, I'm just going to fast forward. Well, let's this play. Since audience, you have something to watch. You're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. The most ridiculous sounding name. Also, probably a ridiculous game. But it is coming February 21st, 2025. It'll be on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S. And that's something to look forward to. Fans of Subnautica. I know our own Phil Olson was a huge fan of Subnautica. They are getting the sequel finally, Subnautica 2. It's coming out in 2025. I believe they're
Tony will be
introducing some
thrilled.
kind of like co-op multiplayer into that too. So looks pretty cool. Anna Caperna Interactive reveals Wheel World, which I believe was called Ghost Bike previously, but it's now called Wheel World. That is going to be launching into Game Pass, mind you, as well. In 2025, they say early 2025. We don't have a specific date, but it'll be on PC, the Xbox Series X and S, PS5, and Game Pass, like I mentioned. Now, Control is getting a new cooperative multiplayer game called FBC Firebreak. And so excited for that. It's a 3-person co-op. Kind of wave-based multiplayer or experience. It is not a games for service. They did make that comment, so you're not going to have to grind away at stuff and have to log in every day,
right?
To keep up with the Joneses, so to speak. So that's good. And this was the Bloober Team game, Chronos. That's what it was. It was in my notes all along. I'm looking at it right here. Chronos, The New Dawn. It's coming in 2025. Looks exciting. Although it's Bloober. I don't know what to think about Bloober. And here's the pirate game, the Pirate Yakuza game. Enjoy this little cutscene. Bloober, their last couple games have just not been great, so I'm leery about getting excited for one of their games. But the Control game, FBC Firebreak, that sounds pretty interesting. Also, coming to PC, Xbox Series X and S via Game Pass, but we don't know when this is going to be launching. There was no date put to it, but it is going to come to Game Pass day and date, so a little bit of a win there.
All right.
Let me see if I can find this game on our list of... okay, so this is Mouse PI for Hire. I'm excited for this game.
Me too.
Yeah. This just looks great. Right up. It kind of has that Cuphead vibe.
Yes.
So this
hopefully
is
not nearly as difficult.
Well, yeah. It's a first-person shooter, but total old school cartoon.
I love
looks
it.
fantastic.
Yep.
So that's coming in 2025. We don't know when.
Mhm.
And I'll just I'm gonna fast forward us to the next one that I wanted to look at, which is I think it's right here. No, not right there. Where'd it go? There's a bunch of games that I really don't care for. I will read those off in a second. Oh fuck it. We'll just throw this on there and we'll just talk through the rest of these. Blind Fire. It's a first-person shooter, but the twist here on the first-person shooter part of Blind Fire is there's no lights in the game. So gunfire gives off light source, flares can give off light source. So you're in pitch dark, but then certain things will light up and allow you to see enemy players, and it's just a round-based FPS shooter. Looks like it could be really interesting. I bet it plays super fast, and I will be horrible at it. But the good news is it's in early access today on PC and Xbox Series X and S, so you can check it out right now via early access, and hopefully you like it. Eden Zero was announced by Konami. That will be coming to the Xbox Series X and S PC, and these also may be coming to other like PlayStation consoles. I just don't have that data, but it's coming in 2025. Eternal Strands will be on Xbox Game Pass when it launches in early 2025 as well. That was the game that was just on screen.
Aha.
What was this game? This was this Mistfall Hunter? I don't know. We'll continue on, Kim. Mistfall Hunter. Also coming in 2025. And again, everything PC, Xbox Series X and S. And half the time I pretty much want to say it's probably coming also to the PlayStation 5. Then we have Phasmophobia.
Phasmophobia,
yeah. That's coming October 29th, and that will be just the Xbox Series X and S on the 29th. I don't recall what that game was, so
it's a scary one, if I remember correctly.
Okay. So. Scary for the win. It makes sense. October 29th.
Exactly.
And Legend of Babu.
What about the dog?
Yeah.
There's a dog in it. Yep.
Announced, revealed. They don't say when or what, so I'm assuming it's coming to the Xbox Series X and S and PC, just by virtue of being on the Xbox console.
Right.
And then last but not least, we got Wu Chang Fallen Feathers, which I think this is what's on screen right now. That is coming to Xbox Series X and S, PC, and Game Pass, as well as PS5 in 2025. So lots coming. It was a pretty beefy preview that I wasn't expecting it to be as beefy as it was, and it was. I mean, pleasant surprise. Anything, Kim, that really jumped out at you? What was your like go-to gotta check this out game?
Well, definitely the mouse PI for hire. I mean, I've been watching that thing since I think it was announced on Steam here a few months ago. So I was really excited when I found out it was coming to Xbox. So Eternal Strands looks really good, although I'm a little worried because there was one guy packing around one of those gigantic swords, but I'm assuming that's not probably something I have to, totally worry about. I'm kind of like you when it comes to the games with the guys with the gigantic swords. Not really a fan, but we'll see.
There's
like I said, it's coming to Game Pass, so
yeah. I'm not even gonna. There was a porn joke I was gonna make, and I'm not gonna make it now.
I gotcha.
I'm
Subnautica 2. I wasn't a big fan of Subnautica. As a matter of fact, it was also one of those games that put me to sleep. But Tony really enjoyed playing it. So I mean, because it was on Game Pass for a while, and there was a deal that if you played it for so long, you could get some points or something. So I did that, and my God.
So I liked Subnautica. But so I'm with you, and I think one of the biggest issues Subnautica had was a lack of, like, the story wasn't real clear, and part of that I think was because they launched into early access. There was no story. They built a story into it post-launch into early access. So I feel like the game really suffered from that. It lacked some direction for me, and so I just much like. What was the space flight simulator one where you went to all the different planets? Somebody in chat will know. Anyway, it was like one of those games where you didn't have a lot of hand-holding.
Right.
I want hand-holding. I want,
Right?
especially early on, help me
Yes.
get my feet on the ground or in the water, so to speak,
Right.
and understand there's a story. What's the plot? What am I doing?
Yes.
I don't like games that are just like you open your eyes. What do you do next? I'm
Yeah,
like,
right? It's like,
yeah, I
Well-
need more context. So
like, well, I can build a shack here on the beach and live off of coconut and crabs for the next 3
coconut
or
and
4
crabs.
hours.
What more do you need, Kim?
Right. So, I mean, I don't know. Unless you tell me that I need to venture further off the beach and go over here, I'm not going to fucking do it. So,
That's kind of my thing. I'm not getting out of this perfectly, sound raft. Why am I going to
Right.
go in the water if I don't need to?
right. There's
Especially when I
probably
don't have
sharks and shit in
oxygen.
there. Right.
And they're like, oh, you could build oxygen. And I'm like, okay. And then they're like, oh, you could build
great.
a lifeline, a air hose line. I'm like, okay,
Right.
but then I can't go that far, otherwise I'm going to
Right.
drown. And the one thing about Subnautica, I will say that was a definite, like, the phobia of being underwater with no oxygen was a
Right.
thing for me. Even though, of course, I know I'm alive and I'm not underwater, the
Right.
fear of my character just drowning. Drowning is a horrible way to die, if you ask me. I think the only thing worse than drowning would be dying by fire.
Right.
So I just, I couldn't. I was like paralyzed. I was just like, no, I don't want to go in the water. I do not make
Right.
me go swim. So
I don't know what's under there,
yeah, I have a feeling I'll have the same reaction to Subnautica 2, but it
Right.
does look great. So I'm kind of excited for it. No Man's Sky,
Yeah, baby.
yes, well done, Rain God Zippo. It was No Man's Sky for the win.
Ah.
You get bonus points that will award you at the end of the show. It will absolutely get you nothing, but congratulations on getting
You're
that.
right. Yeah.
So yeah, overall, I think the Control FBC Firebreak, that's exciting to me.
Right.
But it's who knows when it's coming. They didn't really
Exactly.
give us just we know it's coming. And Alan Wake 2, I never bought Alan Wake 2. I didn't get into it. I suppose I might look for that on a sale because that
There
might
you
be
go.
something I would play. But Mouse PI for Hire, 100%. That is like my most excited game out of this preview. And what makes me more excited is that unlike Cuphead excited me visually, but I looked at the actual gameplay that was there and I was like, oh, that's just not my kind of game.
Yeah, I'm with you. I bought it and tried it, and
First
I
person
played
shooter where I get to kill Mickey thousands of times, I'm down.
Right.
Totally down. Because it looked like Mickey Mouse was being killed numerous times in that.
Yep.
All right. I think that does it for the news.
Yeah.
But we do have more news, Kim, and that is the way of games. Games that are coming out
Yes.
that we can buy.
Yes, we have some new releases, believe it or not. Alrighty, your new releases for October 20th through the 27th are Railroad Corporation 2 for the PC on October 21st, Speedo Llama for PC and consoles October 21st. I checked this out. This is actually like a platforming game with llamas, and they have like guns, and yeah, they blow the shit out of things. So I guess if you're into llamas and platforming, there you go. I don't know if there's anybody that is, but whatever. Worshippers of Cthulhu for PC on the 21st. Claws and Chaos for the PC on the 22nd. Fantasy Friends Dream Worlds. Okay. For the PS5, PS4, Switch, and PC on the 22nd as well. That like code for like porn or something? I don't know. Anyway, Forest Hills The Last Year for PC on the 22nd. Kong Survivor Instinct for the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC on the 22nd. The Art Collector for PC on the 22nd as well. Rivals of Aether 2 for the Aether, whatever. Anyway, there's Rivals for it on the 23rd on PC. Scrolling down, we have, oh my god, Zero Cybert? I'm gonna go with that. For the PC on the 23rd. Band Space for the Quest PC VR on the 24th. There's something else for your VR. Oh, you people that bought them. Blood on the Thames for the PC on the 24th. Yes, I said Thames. I know how to pronounce that one, believe it or not. Date Everything. Okay.
Kim, for the
That's got
record,
some
that is
bestial.
Blood on the Thames.
Yeah, right. Date everything. It's got a slight bestiality ring to it, but okay. Maybe you're...
That's like my single days.
All right, just dated everything, huh? For the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch, and PC on the 24th. Flint, Treasure of Oblivion for the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC on the 24th. Prim for the PC on October 24th as well. Puppet House, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PC on the 24th. Romancing Saga 2, Revenge of the Seven for the PS5, PS4, Switch, and PC on the 24th. Shin-Chan, Shiro and the Coal... Yes, Shiro and the Coal Town. I don't know, I thought there was more to it, but maybe not. Switch and PC on October 24th. The World of Kung Fu. Not with Bigfoot, apparently. The World of Kung Fu with Dragon and Eagle for the Switch and PC on the 24th. Oh, here's one. Barbie Project Friendship for the PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, PC on October 25th. Here's a big one. Call of Duty Black Ops 6, PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and PC on the 25th. Also Game Pass. That's how I'm getting it. Sonic X Shadows Generations for the PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, Switch, and PC on the 25th. A lot of things coming out on the 25th. Tower of Madness for the PC on the 25th as well. Wise X Nordics for the PS5, PS4, Switch, and PC on the 25th. And those are your new releases.
Well done, Kim. That's a lot of games coming out.
A lot of them, yeah.
Yeah, so obviously, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is kind of like the big one.
Yep.
But, what was the... Kong Survival Instincts.
Yes.
Do we know what this game is? It a King Kong game?
I believe so, yes.
It feels like a King Kong game. It should be a King Kong game. If it's not, it's a total miss.
Right.
There's nothing else on this list as I go through everything. By the way, congratulations, VR owners. You've got band space.
Something else to look forward to.
Yay.
Yeah.
I do want to know, though, come on, people, that with the VR headsets, how happy are you? Especially if you're PSVR 2. Are you really happy with your PSVR 2 headsets at this point in time?
Now, didn't Lewis buy one of those?
He did. And I want the honest answer from him, how much he regrets it at this point. I know he got it on sale, so he probably doesn't regret it that much because it was cheaper, but I think he paid like $150 for it, something like that, because they had just reduced the price.
Well, that's not so bad.
Yeah, but I mean, I am curious if somehow maybe Quest has more games funneling into VR than we know about. That maybe there's a indie pipeline or somehow that we just don't know, because I mean, it just feels like there's nothing. And I don't want to be the one to say I told you so, but I mean, I told you so. I do want to be one that says I told you so, I guess. That's really what it boils down to.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm sure everybody loves their VR headsets.
I'm sure there are some out there that do.
Porn in VR is outstanding. All right. Kim, this Wednesday, you can come back, hang out with us. We'll play some Halo. You'll feel good. You'll feel better about yourself. And I'm not even going to mention this makes all the bad things in life feel like they're just nothing. Just everything.
I hope so.
Filters away.
All right.
Come hang out, have fun. Halo Wednesdays. It is a good time, people. I'm telling you now, it is.
It really is. Believe it or not.
I know.
Even if you're like me and you don't finish at the bottom, you finish at the bottom of the list. It's still fun. You know.
Rain God Zippa. Rain God Zippa. Change your name, please, because that sounds it's snappy. Rain God Zippa. Rain God Zippo says he has a Quest. He never uses it. This is so I think Robin also relayed the fact that he no longer uses it. The kids use it from time to time, but even he's not using his. So, it just goes back to this notion of you sequester yourself into this headset. You've got this thing on your face. And even though they have the see-through cameras now on some of the more advanced versions, I get it. It's virtual reality, so you're supposed to detach from reality. But I think too many of us don't want to detach from reality. I think we actually want to stay somewhat grounded in our surroundings. So, anyway, where am I going with this? Kim?
I don't know.
Mark is trying to take back Fatal Fridays from you, but I told him he needs to take back Femme Fatal Friday. So he has to identify as a lady in order to take over Femme Fatale Friday. You, however, still are the queen, and this is your time.
Well, as you saying that, with Black Ops coming out, we will probably try to do something Friday night for Black Ops. So
I think that's a solid play.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, people, you've got your marching orders. Also, if you've gotten this far in the show, we're going to give a shout out to you right about now, Kim. Let's do the shout out.
Alrighty, I'm going to shout out our shatters. We have Rain God Zippo, not Zippa.
No.
Anyway, CP Matthew, Boomer, Batch was in there, so thank y'all for stopping in and playing Metacritic Madness with us for one, and putting up with us generally. So.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And if you've made it this far, do like, subscribe, do the social media things, please. It's appreciated. Rain God Zippo, you are awarded 1,000 points. This is for the VR answers, the correct answers, the giving me the answer for No Man's Sky. Had you changed your name to Rain God Zippa, it would have been 10,000 points. But because you stayed at Zippo, sorry, just 1,000 points.
Yeah, well.
For future. Work on it.
All right.
Okay. Kim, anybody else you want to shout out?
No, like I said, happy birthday to my brother. I'm hoping everybody and me has a better week than maybe the last few weeks have been. And I'll pass you over to Tank Top.
All right. Well, I appreciate you, Kim. I appreciate you making the show.
Yep.
You have been Steady Eddie, or maybe we should call you Steady Edie.
Yeah. Either or. I'm okay. I'm comfortable with what gender I am. Yeah. So,
we're not going to go there, Kim. But we also want to shout out those in the chat. We very much appreciate our community. It's a great group of people that we know and love over the years, and it expands, it contracts, and that's just how life is.
Right.
But there is good news on the horizon for those of you in the UK that are tired of listening to this Yank accent. We'll bring in some Brits. We will. It'll happen. If I could find a French person, I would pull one in just for shits and giggles and then kick them off the show. That being said, have a great weekend, everybody, and let's go Niners.
Thank you for listening to the Overseas Connection podcast.